Hi, this is Agent Aaron Vaughn from eXp Realty. I'd like to take a few minutes here to introduce you to eXp Realty. You may or may not have heard of us, and maybe you're a little bit curious about what it might mean for you. There's a lot of misconceptions about eXp Realty out there, and I'm hoping that this short video will help debunk some of those myths and get you intrigued and excited about eXp the way I am. I've only been at eXp a few months, and really it's already just had a dramatic impact on my life, and I sincerely believe that it can do that for you too. eXp is a cloud-based real estate brokerage with 23,000 plus agents, many of whom are huge producers. Many mega teams have made the move to eXp. Even individual broker owners and their teams have moved over, not just individual agents. And they come here because of what we offer and the ability we offer for agents to not only do as well as they were doing before, but really thrive and expand really all over the United States as well as different parts of the world as we continue our global expansion plan. And almost every day I come in and there's a new press release about something else that's going on, and I try to make sure I read those at least once a week because they are moving forward. eXp is not resting on its laurels, and it's an exciting place to be around. It's reinvigorated me in my real estate career. I got my license in 2009 after I had to close my last home building business. I've owned three different residential home building businesses in my life before I became an agent. And in that last downturn, we couldn't survive that. And so I got my real estate license. I thought, hey, that looks pretty easy, certainly compared to building houses. Well, I can tell you now that I have a lot more respect for the agents that worked for me in the past. I always thought it looked easy, but of course, a lot of people become real estate agents thinking it looks easy, but you realize pretty quick that it's not that easy. It takes a certain amount of dedication and certainly laser focus on being successful and doing the things you need to do every day to be successful. And you have to be pretty self-motivated to do it and do it at a high level. And we are happy to take on new agents, and we are happy to take on agents who are seasoned and been around for years and doing a lot of deals. And those are the ones that are hardest to convince sometimes to come over because they already have so much in place. And just the idea of moving all that and transferring it to another brokerage can be a little overwhelming. But we have people at our corporate level that help with that to make sure all these teams that have these giant amount of deals that are in various stages of in process, everything can come over as smoothly as possible. We're improving our onboarding process all the time. In fact, this week, and I mean in November of 2019, they've updated. There's a flow chart for when you're onboarding, so you can get an idea of where you're at and what you still need to do a little easier than when I came on, even just a couple of months ago. So I really believe that whether you're new or whether you're seasoned, this is the place to be. If you like going into the office and hanging out there every day of the week, then that will probably be a little bit harder sell for you. But I really think if you really think about how much time you actually spend in those offices, I think you gotta give yourself a shot here and say, hey, you know what? I spend most of my time on the road. Trying to get clients, working with my existing clients, maintaining my database and my marketing, and just moving forward. And that's the reality. The reality is you've got a desk at home, or you've got your laptop, you've got your iPad, you've got your cell phone, and those are really your office. So wherever you are with those in your car, that's your office, and that's good. That keeps you working and that keeps you moving forward. And eXp believes all the money that goes into paying the leases and paying the mortgages on these giant brick and mortar buildings would be better served investing in technology and agents so they can be more productive and really live the life that they want to live. If you can dream it, you really have an opportunity to do it here. I mean, you can expand your team to all 50 states. You can expand your team internationally. And we're adding more countries all the time. We're in all 50 states now. But you have an opportunity to take your business to the next level and the level beyond that. It's really up to you. If you have it inside of you and you have a vision and you have the fortitude and the guts to push forward and make your business happen, there is no better place for you. I honestly believe that. That's my opinion, but that's also the opinion of a lot of other people. 23,000 plus agents from a company that started from scratch in 2009 to here at the end of 2019. It's phenomenal. It really is. And I know I sound excited, and I'm not trying to be salesy. I'm telling you, I am excited. I don't like to be sold to. One of the things that drives me nuts as a real estate agent is that it seems like everybody's trying to sell us something. New ways to get leads, more money to spend, $100 a month here, $200 a month there, $300 a month there. And pretty soon you need a deal a month just to pay for all these things that outside of your MLS and outside of your board dues. And to me, that's super frustrating. And sometimes I hate answering the phone, and we're in the business of answering our phone. But if I see a number I don't recognize, I'm sitting there going, do I answer this or not? Is this a client or is this somebody else trying to sell me something? And sometimes I just don't answer it. And then I find out it could have been a client, and I call back and they've called another agent that answered their phone. And so that's humbling. But I don't like that. I don't want to be sold stuff. I mean, we are in the sales business, but really with real estate, it's a very personal thing. People feel very strongly about homes and building one for themselves. They have an idea in their head of what they want their home to be, and it's up to us to figure that out and help them take the fantasy into the reality, merge them together, and help them find a home that they will love, and they can create their version of family and whatever it is they want, and we help bring that to them. And it's an honor, but it's a lot of work, but it's also extremely rewarding. And it's nice to know there's a company that allows you to keep your own branding or build your own brand. A lot of agents come in and they want to be behind a big national brand, and we've certainly got that now with 23,000 plus agents in 50 states and international offices. But successful teams, mega teams, husband-wife teams that are in areas where they've grown a lot, they have their own marketing, their own branding, and as long as you follow state guidelines, you can bring all that over. You follow the brokerage information, whatever the way the states say that has to be on your marketing, and as long as you do that, you're welcome to keep your branding and make it whatever you want to be. This is about you and your business. Not just about eXp. We're here to facilitate success with agents because eXp's founder and everybody on board at eXp knows agents are what makes it a success. And if we're all working hard to be successful, then we're happy, and we're happy to help other agents be successful. And that has really happened here. We have a bunch of groups in Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Workplace, where there's different group chats and things, and you can find out information all the time. And sometimes you have a quick question on the fly, you need to know something, and there's always other agents and brokers from your state, brokers from other states that are in there willing and able to help. And there is a real team concept going here that's real. It's not fake. It's just really, you got to be part of it to even understand the dynamic of it and how it's such a game changer. So let's move on a little bit here. Our founder, Glenn Sanford, started in real estate in 2002, built his team to selling $60 million worth of real estate with a national franchise in his fourth year in real estate. And he did it primarily from online leads. He attracted consumers online using those early systems, the archaic systems. It was a very different landscape back then. And he took advantage of it and big time and realized the power of it and how he was just at the beginning of that. And he said, I want to make it something more. If it benefits me this much, we should be able to figure out a way to make it benefit agents too. And so he came up with a vision that became eXp Realty. And in 2009, he founded it as the first cloud-based brokerage. And it really was the start of something. It was like Netflix to Blockbuster Video or Netflix to Hollywood Video. They're gone now. Netflix is here. And while the other real estate brokerages, the old brick and mortar brokerages are still here, they're a little behind the eight ball now. I mean, I started out at Keller Williams and I loved it, and I still have a lot of agents there that I really like, and there's a lot of good business being done there, but really they're going to have trouble playing catch up, I think, to what we've done already. We've moved so far ahead because the cloud just it allows so much power and so much flexibility and so much expandability. I mean, it's so scalable what you can do here. It's really phenomenal. So let's talk a little bit more about that. This chart is a really great one-page thing to look at here and see just how quickly this has exploded. 2009, eXp Realty is founded. 2010, 1 year later, open in 11 states already. Okay, so then you hop over to 2012, and already after 3 years, the founder Glenn Sanford is recognized as one of the top 100 most influential people in real estate. And so 2013 rolls along, and he says, you know what, let's make it a public company. So they start becoming publicly traded. In 2014, they launch in Canada. So that's like 1 year later, and then they're already in Canada. And so this is the point I feel like Glenn and his team must have been thinking, okay, we're doing well. What are we missing? What do we got to do to just make this thing grow exponentially? And they launch in 2015 the eXp Realty Agent Equity Program as well as the Icon Agent Award. And what those are in a nutshell is the ability for agents at eXp to earn stock, to get free stock in certain milestone transactions, and also buy stock at a discount at certain points. As part of you can reroute part of your commission and buy stock at a discount, which is just a really incredible thing. The Icon Agent Award, where after you cap, you do a certain amount of deals past that, and you get all of your cap, all of it, returned to you in the form of eXp stock. Now, let that sink in for a second. Your entire cap. How would that not motivate you to want to sell as much real estate as possible? For people on the outside saying, "Oh, eXp, all it does is recruit agents. None of their agents sell anything." Well, that's nonsense. I mean, we have some of the highest producing agents in the world here at eXp, and you can see why. I mean, that is just a great deal. It makes you want to push forward and achieve those things, because at the end of the day, if you can earn your entire cap back in stock, I mean, that's really incredible. I mean, that to me is it's a game changer. It really is. I know you hear these words a lot of different things, and people are always trying to say how great things are. But if you just look at it, you do your due diligence and look at the numbers, look at the facts. Don't listen to the naysayers. Just look at the nuts and bolts facts of what eXp Realty is. And that Icon Agent Award, the Agent Equity Program, and our revenue sharing program, which is robust and really better than anything even remotely close to being offered by any other franchise or major real estate company out there. And I'll get into that a little bit more later. So that did it. That was the thing that started making the agent count go crazy. We're a few hundred agents in 2015, and then it starts tripling. And by end of 2017, early 2018, we were over 10,000 agents. And we were named in 2018 as Glassdoor Best Places to Work. We were on that list, and it's easy to understand why. It means success breeds success, and happy agents go tell other agents, and then more happy agents come over, and it's been amazing. So amazing that in 2018 we're not just publicly traded, we're now traded on the NASDAQ stock exchange, and we opened finally, I think the last state was West Virginia, and now it's all 50 states as of 2018, in addition to Australia and the UK. Inman Innovator Award winner for broker owner in the 2018. So we're at the end of 2019 now, and we are at 23,000 plus agents. I don't know the exact count right now, but it was well over 23,000 when I checked a couple weeks ago. So that, to me, is just, it's amazing. It really is. One of the reasons why agents come here and agents stay here is our core values. And every business has a piece of paper they put on the wall that talks about their values, and some companies have it on paper, but they don't really practice it. Well, it's not like that here. Um, it's a community, and everything is about collaboration here. It's about our success. It's about not trying to hide our success, but it's about to talk about it and share it and give other people tips to do it. Because people who are really successful, they're not really afraid of somebody else coming and taking their success. They know that they've done it and they have some great ideas, and a lot of them are just happy to share them. There are so many people in our Facebook workplace groups, and we have a lot of those, talking about CRMs, talking about our own CRM, KV Core, which is included as part of your monthly fee, which is a very robust site by conversion, and it's really it's a CRM. It helps you do squeeze pages to put ads out on Google and Facebook to get leads in there. There's AI technology that involves a very robust and complex follow-up system, and you don't have to go pay hundreds of dollars a month or $1,000 a month for that. It's part of what you already have here, and to me, that was one of the things that really drew me over, other than our generous revenue share plan and just the culture here. I talked to several people before I came over, and really, my sponsor and the people in his group, they were all very forthcoming and very super helpful, and told me where to look. And I looked, and I watched a couple of videos that just really got me inspired, and I was really skeptical for a long time, and finally said, you know what's the worst that can happen? I can go back to my other brokerage. It's you got to take the risk. You got to take the jump. It's not a risk. It's an opportunity. But sometimes people are scared to make changes like that. But really, it's a no-brainer to me. I really feel that you've got to at least give it a shot. I think that for virtually any agent in any situation, any broker, any mega team, I think this is the place for them, and I think it can just take the success that they've created to this point and grow it to an entirely different level, whatever that is for you. So let's talk a little bit about what's happened to some of these businesses on the left versus the newer businesses on the right. I mean, this is pretty easy to see where we're going here. Blockbuster, the 800-pound gorilla of the video rental business, and that used to be a huge business. Some of you might not even really be old enough to remember that, but Blockbuster was riding high in 2005 when they were pretty much knocking down Hollywood video out of business, and Netflix was just a little startup, and they talked to Blockbuster. They talked to the people there and said, "Hey, would you like to buy us out, or maybe we can team up and make and work together?" And they got laughed out of the room. 5 years later, Blockbuster is out of business. They're Chapter 11 too. And I think now, here at the end of November 2019, there's only one Blockbuster store open in Australia, and they're getting set to close it pretty soon. Meanwhile, Netflix is a $20 billion company. And you look at Circuit City and all the stores like Circuit City, the big box electronic stores and other retailers who have been basically replaced by Amazon. Well, Netflix is a cloud-based business. Amazon is a cloud-based business. eXp is a cloud-based business. Now, the traditional real estate brokerages, the brick and mortar brokerages we're talking about, a lot of them are still there. Most of them still are. But they are playing catch up. They're terrified. And as great a people as that I've known in those different brokerages and the ones I've worked with at Keller Williams, I know that it's got to be scary because they're playing catch up with the technology. They're trying to figure out why everybody's leaving them and going to eXp, and so they're scared. And I think that's why some of the negative things are said about eXp. And maybe they think that's true, or maybe they don't really know, or maybe they're just trying to keep people from leaving, trying to stop the bleeding of their hemorrhaging agents and revenue. But the truth is, eXp is the real deal. It just is. It's really hard to argue with the fact that it's a NASDAQ publicly traded company. There are no multi-level marketing schemes publicly traded on NASDAQ. There are no pyramid schemes publicly traded on NASDAQ. Okay, this is a real business. This is a brokerage that is focused on agent success, and that's why it's grown so much. I mean, honestly, there's just no other way to put it. It's about as simple and straightforward as I can. So we operate as one brokerage in all 50 states and internationally. So we all follow the individual state or country rules and guidelines that we have to. And when you're as an agent at eXp in a particular state, I'm here in Texas, we follow the TREC, the Texas Real Estate Commission guidelines, just like every other real estate brokerage. There's nothing funny going on. It's just the way it is. And if you, whatever state you're in, that you'll be following the same rules. You'll be using the same paperwork. I mean, it's a legitimate real estate company. Your office is in the cloud. It's called eXp World. You create an avatar. You get to put out the best version of yourself via avatar, and you wander around in this giant global cloud-based office called eXp World, and the real staff members are there with their avatars. They can help you with all sorts of problems, with issues about checks or issues about commissions or paperwork or anything. You can find it in there. And also, there are meeting rooms. There's over 40 hours a week of live, fresh, new training. There's icon meetings where the icon agents get together and talk about their success strategies, what made them be so successful. And they're really straightforward and honest, and they will give you real information to help you build your business. There's incredible equity opportunity here that's unmatched in any real estate brokerage at this time. Our revenue share plan has 7 levels to it, which allows a cascading effect for revenue, which allows you to make a really good living if you're attracting productive agents to eXp and you're a productive agent yourself. Really, the sky's the limit for what you can do. And until those agents cap and they're not actually giving revenue to eXp anymore, you get to earn revenue share for the agents that you bring in, as well as later on, depending on how many agents you have, agents they bring in too. It's amazing. The stock equity programs that I talked about a little bit, that I'll talk about a little bit more in a second, these are real and they're significant. This isn't some profit share program from some place that has an office where you maybe make a small percentage of something if the office makes a profit that month, and it turns into be 5, 10, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever it is. You never know. It could be nothing or it could be a lot. It depends. And if you don't do any deals and you don't attract agents who do deals, then chances are very good that you're not going to do as well. But that's not what this is about. If you're doing business and you're bringing in people who do business, it can change your life and add a whole nother revenue stream to you that can help get you through the highs and lows, the way real estate is, where it goes up and down in cycles. It's cyclical like every other business, and it's nice to know that you can sustain something for the long term. So let's move on a little bit here. So in the cloud, there are no desk fees because you already own your desk, right? You have your laptop, your desk, your car, your iPad, your laptop, your phone, whatever it is. You work from wherever you are, and whatever hours you need to work to get your business done. We don't have overhead for brick and mortar. We don't have leases or mortgages. So we take that money and we invest it in agent support and technology. Plus, we have a very competitive cap and a really good split, so that really is helpful too. We have paperless transactions through a company that's similar to Dotloop. If you've used Dotloop before, it's a lot like that. It's called SkySlope, and so we are entirely paperless. You get instant access to recorded training videos and support 24 hours a day. So if you can't make it to live training, there's a eXp University in a Facebook Workplace group that you can access and get these videos. And sometimes you want to watch, you're up at 3 in the morning, you want to learn something, or you can do it. You don't have to wait to go to a live meeting, because a lot of us don't have the kind of schedules that allow for that. I do encourage you to attend live training once in a while when you can. And I think one of the first ones you should do is the training for eXp World. And it says that in the onboarding material. That's one of the first things you need to do. And you will wander around a little bit lost if you don't take that training, because while there's a little chat box in there that you can text people that are in there and ask them to kind of how to get around, it really makes it a lot easier if you take that training. And why wouldn't you spend an hour, and then it'll really make your life a lot easier. It's worth it. So there's real-time support from real people in the cloud-based office. They're open regular business hours, as you can see down there, and it's on demand. So you can go in there, you can check the groups, whatever it is. We have the real people in place. There's over 400 staff members there to help, transaction specialists available wherever you're located, brokers in every state. In Texas, we have 6 actual brokers spread out through different regions of the state. So there are real people. It's not fake. It's not a chatbot real estate company. I mean, this is a real company, and it's just the savings are coming to you from it being a technology-based office as opposed to a brick-and-mortar office. International collaboration. I mean, it's super powerful, and the more countries we get into, the more powerful it will become. You can learn from other people within our company, team up with them. You can build teams across states, across provinces, and you have one nationwide cap. So it's really crazy. Like I said, the live online gatherings, the I think Facebook Workplace is just the greatest thing for this, because there's so many people that are helpful in there, and so many agents that are genuinely want to help you be better. They're not, I mean, there's groups in there that are selling things and selling the online lead things and the Facebook ads and setting up your website for you and all that stuff. But there's also a lot of good videos on how to do all that stuff yourself and save a lot of money too. And then the people are in there generally just to help you and realize that it helps them, and it's part of their success. They've been successful. They want to share that with other people, and for the most part, it's just it's really an incredible thing to be part of. It's really hard to explain until you're actually doing it. So I recommend that you do it. Let's get a little bit. I'll put the equity opportunities on the screen here so you can get a little bit more detail about what I was talking about. With the sustainable equity plan, you earn shares on your first transaction. You earn more shares when you fully cap. And then you earn shares when the agent you sponsor closes their first transaction of the year. For the Icon Agent Award, your $16,000 cap, which is, by the way, is a very competitive cap. It's right in the middle. My lowest cap I ever paid a broker was $12,000, and the highest was like $25,000. I think there's some even higher than that, but ours is only $16,000. It's very competitive, and the Icon Agent Award. So you reach your cap, and then you go to a transaction fee of $250 a transaction. Well, once you get those fees built up to $5,000, that puts you to the Icon Agent Award status. All of your cap is returned back to you in the form of stock, and that is incredible. I mean, really, just look at it, let it sink in. I talked about it before, how incredible I think it is, and I really think it is. It's hard to poke holes in that one. Agent Equity Program. If you enroll to have 5% of your commissions taken out of each transaction automatically, you can either enroll or unenroll, but once you're enrolled, you only have to do it once, and then they take 5% of your commission and purchase stock at a 20% discount, whatever it's trading for at that time. And then all of that is kept track of in our enterprise system. Wherever you're standing with your cap, your commissions, your transactions, your stock, your revenue share, it's all in the enterprise system. So you can see where you're at through the cloud-based technology at any given time. When you get in there, you can see where you're at. And if there's a problem or you think there's a problem, you go talk to people, real people in the cloud, and they'll get it figured out with you. And it's great. I mean, you don't have to try to keep a spreadsheet of all this because you got so much going on. You got revenue coming in so many different ways. I've always been really a stickler about keeping, spreadsheets for all of the lead generation stuff I do and stuff with clients, but I've always been bad about trying to do them for myself, and now I don't have to worry about it. I can make a copy of that anytime, and if I see anything wrong, I can address it then. But otherwise, it's all right there in front of me, and I think that's amazing. I really do. So here's the revenue share chart. Don't gloss over too bad. There's a lot of percentages and numbers and words there that may not mean anything to you. And I won't get into detail right now, but I do understand it. And if you want to know more specifically about it, please reach out to me by phone, and I'll be happy to talk with you about it. But basically, let's look at the fourth column, personal qualified agent count needed. So an agent that you bring in that's doing at least 2 deals in any 6-month rolling period, or one really big deal, okay? You bring them in, they close a deal of the money that goes to eXp, not their share of the commission, but the money that goes to eXp, you get to keep 3.5% of that for that deal. And then you've got more agents coming in, you cross the 5 agents that are doing those deals, and that unlocks tier 2, and you can make up to 3.8% of that. That's a big tier. When you get to the 10 plus agent level of producing agents that come in, then you unlock tier 3, and it also unlocks the cascading revenue share for all of the agents that they also bring in, up to 7 levels down. And if you kind of look through that, you can see how astronomical and exponential that growth could be if you do the work. Now, we're still here to sell real estate. We want you to be a successful real estate agent. We want you to share that news with other agents in a very organic way. We don't want you to be salesy. We don't want you to be pushy to go out there to get agents. But we do, if you're happy and you're successful, other people will see that and they'll talk to you about it. Bring them in. Talk to them. If you need help to talk to them about some of the details you may not understand, you reach out to me. You reach out to your other people in the brokerage, and we can talk to them with you too. You won't lose that person as one of your people, but we'll help you let them know the benefits of eXp and let them make a decision on their own. But it can be great. Load it onto your desktop, and you can go in there, and you'll see on the right there, she's in the world with her avatar kind of wandering around. And once you take the training, you'll know where to go for things. There's where the offices are, where the classrooms are for all the training. And really, it takes a little bit of getting used to wandering around with your little avatar. But once you do, you'll realize just how amazing and powerful that it is. And there's some pictures of what it's like in eXp world. You see the auditorium to the right there. It looks like a university, a classroom. It's that kind of thing. You've got the specialized departments with real people there. You'll see their avatars to answer your questions. And one of the things you can do if you have a big team and you're growing people outside of your area, because a lot of the big teams have their offices, and it's hard for them to figure out how they're going to motivate the troops every morning before they hit the phones and talk to everybody if they're not all right there. They want them right there. Well, this is the next best thing. You can all get together into a private meeting room in eXp World, and you can talk about what you're going to do that day. You can talk about how many calls you need to make. You can talk about troubles you're having on calls, whatever it is. You can do that right there. And so a lot of the mega teams that come in, they keep their offices, but hopefully over time they slowly wean and do a little more stuff, wean off the brick and mortar office that they pay for. I mean, that doesn't affect the eXp thing. If you want to rent an office and you want to have an office for your team, you're welcome to do that. That's your expense. That you can do that as long as you want. Maybe you'll do that forever, but you have the opportunity to get away from that and move forward in the cloud if you want to do it. And you don't have to just do it cold turkey. Try it out, see if it's working, see if you can improve it, tweak it over a year or two. And I try to tell people, hey, you've got both, so you don't have to just close everything down. Keep it going, but try this. And even you can try it all together while you're there in the same room and go into the cloud and see how it works, even if you're there, just to kind of work through the kinks and do it and grow. and maybe eventually close that brick and mortar and put that money back in your pocket too, just like eXp did, but on your own scale. So, eXp Solutions, the tools we have Enterprise, which I told you about, which is the back end system. It's how you get into your back end of your lead generating website, which is called KV Core. It's from the company called Conversion with a K. You can do your own searches on that and find out about it. I think it's one of the best values out there. I really do. It's as powerful as anything you're going to find. Really, for the price, it's unbeatable, I think. But there's a lot of people. Whenever you look up websites, there's always a lot of naysayers, a lot of negativity, but there's also a lot of positive ones. So look at both. It's not perfect, but it's being updated all the time. It's better than anything I've ever had before. I did have one once. It was costing me like $2,500 a month. And it was pretty good, but it has its share of problems too. And this isn't quite that level, but it's pretty close, and it's already included. So why would I spend any extra money outside? It's allowing me to do squeeze pages on Facebook, Google, keeping them all. You can mark them with hashtags, so you know what campaigns they came in on. They're set up on automated drip campaigns that are pretty solid, but you can also update all the text on those yourself. You can integrate it with BombBomb for videos. It's the real deal. SkySlope for transactions, all paperless. Workplace by Facebook, our private intranet type of Facebook thing. And I don't know if you've ever had a company where you've been on Workplace, but it looks just like a kind of a dumbed down Facebook, not ads type of thing, rolling through, and not too many memes, but it's got a lot of groups and different things. You can even create your own groups if you're trying to generate interest in something specific. But there's a lot of marketing groups with free marketing ideas, a lot of guys who have done things that they're trying to sell, and on there. And if you're interested, you can find out more about that. But like I said, the CRM and lead generation through your KV Core site. Now, the branding and marketing, we have all the logos you need to update your own marketing. We have a bunch of pre-done signs. We have deals with, I think, Build a Sign right now, a couple other places where they have everything set up. You get your first 1,000 business cards free, a lapel pin, and some folders, which will come to you in an email as part of your onboarding process that you can go set up. When you get a listing and the input MLS information is pulled in, and they create a bunch of flyers and different things for you automatically, and they send you a link to that, so you don't even have to go in and cut and paste anything. It's just ready to print if you choose to do that. You don't have to, but you certainly can, and that's a really nice feature. You don't have to waste time or have your assistant do that kind of thing. The enterprise system, that's a screenshot of what it basically looks like. It's changed a little bit, but the basic look of it is the same. The boxes within the box there, some of those have changed a little bit. But basically, your details are in there. You can update your internal eXp profile for when other agents are searching for you. You see your commissions, your cap status, all the other financial information is in there. And you get real-time performance reports for how you're doing. You know where you're at, and it's easy to use. I'm in there 3 or 4 times a day at least, and it gives you a lot of great information. SkySlope, that's what it looks like. It's very simple to use. I thought about doing a dummy transaction when I first got here to go through it and see what it's like, but really it's so easy. You get your forms at your your zip forms at your normal the state realtor association keeps online. You get those, and then you fill them out and you import them there, and you can get them all signed through SkySlope, or you can sign them outside, however you want to handle that if you're more comfortable doing that. But it's all paperless, and it's very slick. I talked about Workplace by Facebook already quite a bit. That's what it looks like, and it's just an invaluable resource. I'm probably in there too much, but it's not as big of a time waste as being on a regular Facebook. There's information in there that can be really beneficial. KV Core site, that's what your back end looks like when you go in there. It shows your lead activity, what houses they're looking at, and all that, typical of these higher end sites that have such good analytics in them, and really it's definitely worth it. That's the brochures, business cards, all that stuff that we have in there ready to go that you can fill in. They have a bunch created for you when you input a listing into your MLS, and that is really very slick as well. So here's the bottom line. This is where we are at here. There's not a second page with a whole bunch of little fine print that I have to explain of all these other weird fees that come up that take all of your money. I mean, the fine print here is pretty easy to read. So this is it. We have an 80-20 commission split. 80 to the agent, 20 to the company, to eXp. And that 20% is also where the revenue share money comes out of. So that's a really competitive split. It's better than an awful lot of those companies, and there is no franchise fee. So some places are 80-20, but then they also pay 6% to the franchise, and then they have all these other fees. And some are 70-30, and then they also paid it with a franchise. And some are worse, and we're not any of that. There's not separate setups. The only thing is, if you're a mega team or a large team, the way you have your team members set up is different, and it's more competitive for what brokers and teams are used to on the outside. And so when we get into that situation, if you're in that ballpark, then we can talk personally about that, and we'll get on the phone with corporate, and I'll show you some of the other documents available. We have a kind of a setup, but if you're a big enough team, then they'll work with you on getting that figured out. So it's really going to be beneficial. So after you reach your cap, you earn 100% of commission for the remainder of the year. And at that point, there's no more revenue to share, because really all you have is a transaction fee of $250 because you capped. So there's no more commissions coming in for that agent. So that agent is no longer going to be part of the revenue share stream. But once you reach $5,000 in those capped transaction fees, that's $250 a pop, so you figure out how many deals that is. The capped fee is reduced to $75 for the remainder of the year. But more importantly, that's when you reach icon status, and that's when your entire cap is given back to you in form of stock based on the value that it is at that time. And I'm still floored by that. I'm going to strive hard to become one of those agents, because I just want to have that moment, because you really feel like, hey, this is a motivator and you really have earned something special. You know, there's no other company that I know of that's offering anything quite like that. On the right here, these are our costs. There's a $149 startup fee to join eXp. And that includes in your first month the $85 a month cloud brokerage fee. And it used to be broken up between $35 for the eXp World and $50 for your website. It's bundled together because that's the fee, and that covers all of the back end. That's what it costs to work here. Those other two fees only happen if you're generating a sale in some way. You have the broker review fee to review your deal that goes through SkySlope, and then the $40 risk management fee, which is basically errors and omissions insurance. But that's a very low number. If those of you paying E&O out there, a lot of places are charging a lot more than that. But one of the reasons why that's so low is because of that broker review fee. The brokers are checking these contracts for problems that they can red flag and have you fix, and so that avoids a lot of problems down the line. And so they've been able to negotiate a very good errors and omissions insurance program, and that's passed on to you. And that's capped no matter how many transactions you do. The per transaction caps at $500. So, and that's just the U.S. fees. There's a different international program, and if you're going to be involved in that, you're probably not watching this video, and there's going to be other information out there for you. If for some reason you do stumble upon this video and you need to know more about the international program, call me and I will find out who you need to talk to. Okay, I'm happy to help. So, this is the real deal. Read through this. This is the real deal. The Real Trends 500, we were named for that for 2019, this year. We were ranked the largest increase of closed sides from 2007 to 2018, largest increase in closed sales volume from 2007 to 2018, and then you go to number 5 there, that's my favorite. at least $1 billion closed sales volume in 2018. Goodness knows what it's going to be this year with so many more agents, but I am super excited to be part of this. This is not a company built just to bring agents over who bring other agents over. It's nothing like that. It's not multi-level marketing. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's a cloud-based brokerage. It's everything you're doing now as a real estate agent in a brick and mortar office that you're paying for. But you don't have to pay for that anymore. We're in the cloud. You can expand your team to all 50 states or internationally if you want to do, or you just want to be the best agent you are in your market. You have so many more tools, and our name is getting more and more recognizable all the time because we're growing so much. It's not just agents that know about us anymore, but the reality is it's a people business, and the people you deal with are going to hire you enormous amount of time based on who you are, the fact that they like you, they've met you, they feel that they can respect you, and you will put their best interests at heart, and you are going to earn their business and their trust, and then they're going to tell people. It's still that way. It's still a people business. What we're allowing you to do is take the back end of that business, the part that a lot of people don't see, but you have to suffer through in costs and frustrations and headaches because you can't get questions answered in a timely fashion. That's all here. It's in the cloud. It's in one place. And if you get lost, there's people that will help you find out what you need to know. And if you're having trouble once you're onboarded, you talk to me, because I do not want you to get lost in the process. I will not let that happen. I got a little confused. I think I missed one of the emails that was sent to me, and I was getting so frustrated. But I went in to a Facebook Workplace, and I got sent to the right place, and then I realized I did have that email, and I went in and read it, and they give you step by step what to do when you onboard. And so if you ever stumble at any of that point, you call me or text me or whatever, and we'll get it figured out, because I know who to send it to. I've been through all that, and I've been through all that recently, and even though it's even changed a little bit in the last few months, it's doing nothing but getting more streamlined, and it's definitely something you want to consider strongly. I'm passionate about this company, and I'm reinvigorated to do the business. My wife's getting her license right now. I think my enthusiasm has rubbed off on her a little bit, and she's been with me through thick and thin, through all of our success when we were at the peak of building, closing 20 or 30 houses a month, to the point where we lost everything. We're still together, and we've been through a lot, and I don't think she's seen me this excited about anything in a long time, and so I think she wants to be part of it. And she's been with me, she understands this business a lot, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do and being part of it with her and help her guide her along as well, because it's fun. It's great. I just enjoy the people that I've met here so much, and I've actually been to a few lunch and learns, and I've met a lot of the people that I've met online before. I've met in person now, and the excitement is palpable. I mean, it feels like you're going to some crazy, I don't know, meeting where everybody is trying to sell you something, but you can tell it's genuine. It's not like that. It's not an infomercial. It really isn't. It's not 2 a.m. some guy coming on and trying to get you all jacked up about something. There's nothing artificial about it. It's real. And I really think that you should give it a shot. I feel like you have very little to lose and an enormous amount to gain. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm losing my voice. But there's my name at the bottom of that screen again, Aaron Vaughn. I'm a realtor. I'm an agent sponsor. There's my phone number. There's a website address there that will give you a little bit of information about what we do, and it also has a link to join. But let's talk on the phone before you get that far. I'll answer more detailed questions about the revenue share, anything you really want to know. I'm happy to answer for you, and if I don't know it, I'll tell you, and I'll figure it out, and we'll get an answer for you. I hope you join me. I hope you're as excited about eXp now as I was when I first joined, and how I am now. I mean, it's much more exciting. It was a little more nerve-wracking. That first week is a little nerve-wracking because we're bringing on people at such an enormous pace excuse me, that It can get a little overwhelming, but they have it set up very simply. You just follow the guidelines, and I'm here to help too if you run into any stumbling blocks. So reach out to me. Again, Agent Aaron Vaughn, Realtor, agent sponsor, eXp Realty. Have a great day, and if you want to know more, give me a call, 512 845 4204.